let's just talk about a few of your policies, since you're in charge of policy, and you can tell me which of these has been effective in stopping illegal immigration. Okay, ending construction of the border wall. Has that been effective in stopping illegal immigration?
Well, I would defer to my colleague from Customs and Border Protection, but my understanding is that barriers on the border serve to slow irregular migration, not stop irregular migration.
But so, okay, so you're saying that the border wall is not effective. So maybe we should just tear the whole thing down.
The border wall is effective in rerouting migration, and it is effective in slowing the pace at which migrants can cross the border, which is particularly important in urban and suburban settings. In rural areas, what we have found is it is still fairly easy for migrants to make holes in the walls.
So interesting. So stopping construction of it, though, hasn't slowed illegal immigration. How about terminating the Remain in Mexico policy, which you've tried to do? Has that stopped illegal immigration or slowed it?
Sir, as you know, we are in the process of re-implementing the MPP program as part of the
Yeah, because you're under court order to do so, but you've tried as a matter of policy to end it. So was that successful in slowing illegal immigration?
Sir, as our secretary noted in his prior testimony, his view is that the MPP program poses unjustifiable costs on migrants and illegally restricts their access to the asylum system.
Yeah, okay.
All right, everyone, buckle up for today's deep dive into Capitol Hill's latest fiery debate. Senator Josh Hawley facing off against a top Department of Homeland Security official. The topic, America's border crisis. Senator Hawley kicks things off by grilling Mr. Nunes Nada, the acting Assistant Secretary for Border and Immigration Policy at DHS. He doesn't mince words, asking point blank if the administration has given up on stopping illegal immigration. Nada responds with a mix of policy jargon claiming they're fully committed to law enforcement, citing measures like expedited removal. But Hawley isn't buying it. The clash escalates as Hawley hones in on the border wall. He questions whether halting its construction has been effective at curbing illegal immigration.
In his prior testimony, his view is that the MPP program poses unjustifiable costs on migrants and illegally restricts their access to the asylum system.
Yeah, okay. How about ending our Safe Third agreements with Northern Triangle countries? Has that been successful in stopping or slowing illegal immigration?
Well, I would defer to my colleague from the State Department in terms of these international agreements, but only one of those agreements was even starting to be implemented prior to Title 42. And
have we seen a decrease in illegal immigration since you eliminated them?
Well, I think what you've seen, sir, is the impact of Title 42 on our border crossings.
Oh, okay. Since you mentioned Title 42, has the attempt to rescind Title 42, has that been successful in slowing illegal immigration?
Title 42, I think, has had a really interesting effect on migration in that, because of the number of repeat border crossers we see, it has actually inflated our numbers at the border. I think, what you're also
saying that the Title II restrictions have increased illegal immigration? Are you saying that the Title 42 restrictions have increased illegal immigration? Is that your testimony?
I think that the data is clear that Senator Johnson showed earlier that once Title 42 restrictions were put in place, we've seen an actual increase in migration from Mexico in particular, and that's because of the lack of consequences.
So eliminating it will then, you think, decrease the amount of illegal immigration?
I think over time, once we start reimposing significant immigration consequences on people at the border through our use of expedited removal, particularly for single adults and particularly for those from Mexico, you're going to see it decrease over time.
That is news. That is news, ladies and gentlemen, that this administration's position, you still clearly want to rescind Title 42, and you think that rescinding it will decrease illegal immigration at the border. So let's just talk about the facts here. Last year alone, DHS experienced a record 1.7 million border crossings. More than 2 million unauthorized migrants crossed the southern border during the last calendar year. In FY22 to date, there have been 245,390 illegal crossings in just the Rio Grande Valley and 195,289 in Del Rio. The number of single adults crossing in these areas is up 75%. Why is it up? Because of all of the policies that we've just talked about. Your policies are single-handedly leading to an explosion of illegal immigration at the border. And yet, you're sitting here and telling me that border walls have nothing to do with it, that Title 42 will lead to a decrease in illegal immigration, that eliminating the Safe Third agreements have nothing to do with this surge. Good heavens.
NADA admits the wall might slow migration, but doesn't stop it. Hawley fires back, questioning the administration's logic, even suggesting they might as well tear the whole thing down if it's so ineffective. Next, Hawley zeroes in on the Remain in Mexico policy, which required asylum seekers to wait in Mexico while their cases were processed. He challenges the administration's attempts to terminate this program, questioning if its removal has helped or hindered border security. NADA defends the move, citing unjustifiable costs on migrants. But Hawley, pointing to skyrocketing border crossings, remains unconvinced. Then there's Title 42, a public health measure used during the pandemic to expel migrants. Hawley presses NADA on their attempts to rescind it, wondering if they genuinely believe removing Title 42 will reduce illegal immigration. NADA's response? Surprisingly, he suggests Title 42 might have increased migration due to repeat crossings. Hawley is baffled, calling the logic contradictory. Hawley wraps up by accusing the administration of overseeing a historic border crisis. With over 2 million unauthorized crossings in a single year, he blames their policies for a surge in drugs, crime, and chaos. NADA counters, but Hawley dismisses his arguments as lacking credibility. If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into politics and current events. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.